Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, CityZilla, and we are going to be working on our airport again today, but we're going to be building out an airport service complex and a cargo area. And so I want to incorporate some fire helicopters, police helicopters, some medical helicopters, and then I want to do the train cargo and then the airport plane cargo. And we do have some other various city fixes to do as well. We really need to upgrade our cemeteries. We're definitely on the verge of a pretty large death wave, as I don't play with life cycle rebalance. And so that is something that we're going to address in this. And for some reason, the plane stands keep catching on fire. And that was one of the main reasons I was like, all right, we don't have any fire rescue helicopters. And they're one of the only emergency services that can handle like fires on the tarmac or something like that, because we also don't have a disaster response unit, which would probably be good for us to be doing here soon too. And so first thing, I wanted to jump into a few small changes that I made off camera. It's kind of funny, I ended up having to record this episode multiple times as I kept kind of having issues, but it really allowed me some room to add in a couple things. And so I added in an access road here. Somebody had left me a comment saying that their son is an airplane mechanic and you would have to have road access to these. And so I thought it would just be really cool. I ended up putting in this little safety fence around the outside so that somebody couldn't just walk into the taxiway. And then I did a tunnel down here, and then I attached a tunnel up here. And this is like a perimeter access road. And these are super common for airports. These would be like if there's something on the perimeter, or say somebody's like trying to sneak onto the airport or something like that. You know, police or emergency services would be able to come out here, and it's just a really easy way to secure your perimeter and everything. Normal emergency services do drive on tarmac, like if a plane were to crash or something like that, they would come out here, but having these perimeter access roads would be super important. And then I added in like a little fun kind of a security booth over here with the fencing, so that like this would be a controlled access gate to where you would need to have a badge or something like that. And then I did want to jump into a little hack that I had for this game that kind of makes it a little bit faster. I did some Google searches online and I stumbled across something that I think is going to work temporarily. And so right now we have a little bit of a jitter with the game. We're on level 3 and we're not going really slow, but you can kind of see that that plane is jittering a little bit. And so what we're going to do is jump into our vanilla taxiways, and all you need is find it to use this. You don't need to download anything. You do need a computer. So if this is an issue that you console players are experiencing, I'm sorry. I think the developers are aware of the issue, and so they probably will be fixing it at some point. Based off of what I've read, this isn't a mod issue, but it could still be a mod issue. I know the mod developers have just been working crazy to get everything updated, and I super appreciate it. Most of the mods that I use are now working really well. I think the only mod that I'm currently having performance issues with is Node Controller, and for some reason it's just whenever I add it in, I take a serious dive in performance, so I've decided to just play without it for right now. So we're going to jump into the taxiways. And what I'm going to do is go and upgrade them all. And I want to be mindful of the speed. So right now we're getting that jitteriness. It's going kind of fast, but definitely not as fast as it should be for level 3. And then we'll kind of see what it looks like afterwards. All right, and there we go. And so the first thing you can see is this tear. It really sucks. This is something that you just got to kind of live with if you choose to do this. But immediately you can already see our speed is way up. Now this is where it should be. And you can even see like that plane in the background, and all the animations still do work. So you get all the people, the little stairways and the trucks and everything. You just get this tear in the graphics. And so it kind of makes me wonder if there's an issue just with the nodes or something, but it has definitely saved my game. My game is running so much faster now. Like we're not getting any stutter out of that. The plane is taking off really well. And all these planes are just working so much better now. And so I hope that there is some sort of update. Maybe if they just update the taxiways, I'm not really sure. But again, I did read that the developers are aware. And so it's kind of funny. I forgot a couple other things I did off camera. I had received a comment saying that you can move these planes into the hangars. And so I actually put a couple of these into the hangars. And I think it just looks a little more realistic, kind of like they're being worked on. And I think it's such a cool thing. I super appreciate the comment. And then I also did use Surface Painter to kind of paint these all in. I was taking pictures for the last thumbnail, and I decided that it just looked really good. And so a couple other things that we do need to do for the airport real quick. I want to add in our large airplane stands now. And so we're going to go over here, and I think we're going to do 3 on either side. And then we're going to be doing our control towers and our refueling stations, because we kind of forgot those too. And so it's kind of funny. I got so wrapped up in the design of the airport that I kind of forgot some really basic amenities. And so we are going to come in here, and I'm just going to attach up these taxiways real quick. And then for these pieces, I do want them to be at a similar attack. And so what I'm thinking is we will do something like that, just because I like the spacing. I think it gives a nice look to it. It's kind of funny. I have him backwards, but that plane did not care. He just instantly popped out. He was like, I'll go backwards. I don't have time to wait. And there we go. Again, similar attack. Looks good. And these planes they do not care. They're just going backwards. They just can't wait for the construction to be over. And so there we go. And so now that it's fixed and this one's going the right direction, it does look like we need some water for this guy. And then I'm just going to go into Surface Painter and paint this guy up. And then let's do those control towers. It's so funny that I forgot these, because in my test builds, I didn't forget any of these, the fueling stations, control towers, any of that. But whenever I'm recording and stuff, I kind of get caught up in the moment. And the next thing you know, there's always something that gets kind of forgotten. And so thank you so much for bringing it up. I super appreciate it when people bring up things that I didn't catch, because a lot of times I don't see them. And so it really does help out the realism of the build. Come on, guy. There we go. And I'm just going to remove this poor plane. I'm just going to wait for this guy to leave. Come on, get out of there. Don't want to delete you. You can do it. He's stubborn. This guy doesn't want to go. He's got all his people. There you go. All right, there we go. And then let's jump in here, do some control towers again. And the reason I'm putting in multiple is because they're the small ones. And normally whenever I've been to airports and I haven't been to a ton of airports, I've probably been to I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe, maybe 10. But whenever they have these small ones, they tend to have multiple of them, because normally you would have a really big one, something like 200 or 300 feet tall, that would be able to kind of see the whole airfield. And then you would still have a couple smaller ones. Like I know Las Vegas has 2 small ones and then 1 large one. And it kind of allows them to see all angles and everything. And I do kind of wish that we would have done a sideways airfield as well, because I know with wind direction, a lot of times they will shut down certain airfields because it's just not as safe. Like they would allow the planes to fly in a certain direction, but then not this way. But because of our space, we kind of got limited with this. It's maybe on the next airport build. And so now I want to jump into our refueling stations. What I was thinking is we could put them right here. Because it's kind of funny, whenever I go to airports, you always see these guys, and these are just for the trucks. These aren't for the actual airplanes, but it's funny, they made them snap to the taxiways, and so it just makes me think that these trucks just drive on the taxiways. So we're not going to actually do road access to these. These would be like those little guys you see at the airport where they're in those little carts. So we're going to jump in here, go to our taxiways, go like this. And we're just going to come across and connect it right there. And then I'm just going to copy it on this side. All right, so I think that looks pretty good. I kind of finagled them in. I didn't want them to be right next to the airfield, and so I put them a little bit closer to the terminals. But I think it's a nice touch. And so this is, I think, now complete. And then all we need left to do is services. And so what I'm thinking is we will put our airport cargo terminal right here. We will probably do a train terminal on the opposite side of the road so that we don't have to worry about crossing over the cargo taxiways. But then I want to do a fire helicopter depot, and then a medical helicopter depot, and a police helicopter depot. And initially I had put them down here, but I felt like putting them on the bottom side of this cliff probably wasn't the safest. And a lot of the helicopter depots I've seen at airfields tend to be pretty close. Like the one in Vegas, you actually drive down when you're going down Las Vegas Boulevard and you see all the helicopters, and it's really not too far from the actual airstrip. And so first thing we want to do, we want to pause the game, jump into here, and then jump into level terrain tool. And I want to make this just a little bit bigger because we're going to really cram a lot of stuff up here. But I want there to be enough space for the cargo terminal and then us to be able to do the trains on the opposite side. And so I think this would be... that's probably good right there. I want to dry fit it though, just in case. So we will go in here. Let's just see. Yep, wrong guy. So it's this one. No, what am I doing? It's this guy. Cargo airport terminal. And so it does look like we go like right there because we really only need enough space to fit the train tracks. And so if we go right there, it really doesn't provide a lot of room for us to do a taxiway around. Let's go just a little bit further. And there we go. Let's go ahead and dry fit it again. Yeah, you know what? I think that's much better. So we're just going to call it like that. And then we will go back into this. And I want to create a separate level here. So I'm going to go like right there, about 2 up. And then we are going to create a little plateau down here. And what I'm thinking is we will put our water services down here and then our power plants. And so we are kind of in a rough position with our waste disposal. And so the idea is that maybe the waste disposal company is deciding to buy up the land where all these power plants are, or these water treatment facilities. And then with the money, the water treatment facilities and the power plants are deciding to build a whole new complex over here. And so I think it's going to look really nice. I kind of was playing around with this for a while, and I think it comes together really well. So I think that's probably going to be good right there. What we're going to do is then go to slope tool. I'm going to decrease the brush size just a little bit. We don't want it that small. We're going to right click on the bottom, and then we are just going to create a slope down there. And this is going to be for our road. And so now what I want to do is first off, let all the water flood. All right, and so I think that is pretty good. And so now what I want to do is go into our water structures and go to deep canal, and I'm just going to do a canal all the way around. And these things can be kind of finicky. You gotta go out to your desired, so we'll probably go like right there. Go like right there, and then I'm gonna turn on snapping just so I can get a 90-degree angle on that. Come out 3, I think that's probably good right there. Go like right there. You know what? I think that's actually good. We're just going to lower these guys down just a smidge so that it can be kind of an inlet-outlet scenario. We are going to be dumping water into this, and so we would want this more to be an outlet than an inlet. And while that is flooding, let's go ahead and do some key walls. So I'm going to do a key wall right here. And then I want to follow a similar height for this. So I think we'll go like that, and then we will begin to curve this guy in. Go like there, and then we should be able to just go straight. Yeah, there you go. I think that looks pretty good. I do want to possibly curve this guy in just a little better. Yeah, there you go. That looks a lot better. And then we can follow the same lead on this side, but I do want to create a little bit of a straight edge on this one. So I think we'll actually go in and level this out just a little bit. Yeah, there you go. And then let's go back in here and complete this guy. So go straight. Probably just, instead of having this one curve, we'll just go like that. Yeah, there we go. Having that curve there is kind of weird, but I was really just trying to keep a straight edge here because I want to put in some water tanks. And then what I'm going to do is choose our little canal tool. I'm going to draw in a piece, probably like right there. Then I'm going to come in here, select both nodes, and copy. And the reason for this is because I really don't want a curve to be around these edges. I want these to be square, and these are going to be kind of like our inlets. So we will come in here, and I'm going to try my best to level this up. And we'll place that there. We'll come in here, do the same thing, and then I'm just going to finish it on the other ones. And there we go. And so now we can delete this guy. Then come in here, level this down, and then start moving it around. And so we want this to be at about the same distance as the end of that, just to create a little bit of uniformity here. And same with this. We want this to be a similar distance. And there we go. And so I'm just going to copy that approach all the way around. All right, and so I think that looks pretty good. And whenever you're dealing with key walls, especially when you don't have them connected, you always have these kind of ground tears. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to get rid of it anyways, is to right click at the top and then just go all the way down to the edge then what we're going to do is finish building this out, and then I'll show you guys how to get rid of that. It's super easy. You just kind of right click on the ground and then brush across it a little bit. And so what I'm thinking, we are going to jump in here, go to Eco Water Treatment Plant, and go right there and right here. You know what? We didn't make this wide enough. How dare I? All right, so we are actually going to dry fit this. Okay, we're going to make this a little bit wider. And there we go. A little bit of YouTube magic. I ended up changing it. I made it a little bit wider. I made this one squared off, and then I expanded this side out and decided to do a sharper turn just because with the industrial complex, I felt like it was a little more fitting for the area. But then now what it allows us to do is come in here and place 3 of these guys, which is really what I was trying to do here. And I was kind of hoping that they were going to be a little bit farther apart, but I don't think it's the end of the world. We just needed room for them to fit in, and then for us to put in a little access road. And so what we're going to do is jump in here, and we're going to go to rule, and then we are going to go like this, and we're going to draw a road. I want it to be on the ground. And there we go. And so I do want to raise this guy up. Yeah, there we go. And then that way what we can do is jump in here, go like this, and not be on the ground. Connect this guy up. Kind of wish those were level, but it's not the end of the world. Go like this, and then we can continue this on. Then we can continue this on, and there we go. I think I'm just going to shift this up a little bit so that we can get this a little straighter. And there we go. I ended up shifting this out a little bit just so that we could have a straight road across. I think it looks really good. And so this would be your access road for anybody who maybe needed to get over to these drums, or go up here and check on these, or even work on it like a mechanic or something like that. And so then I want to go over here and then mirror them on the opposite side. So we'll go like that, this, and then I think we're going to use the movement mod and just kind of shift them up so that we can get them perfect, or at least try to. And you know what? I think that actually looks pretty good. And so now what we want to do, I want to continue on this access road, and we'll probably go like right there, and then we'll have it turn up. And then let's go out here. You know what? I think that actually looks really good. It looks like it's staying level. And then for over here, now that we have made a little bit of space, I want to go like this, that, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, perfect. So this is going to future-proof us for quite a while, and that's really what I was going for here. I do think we are going to shift these over though, because I want to get a road on that other side. So we'll grab all these nodes and all the power plants, and we will just stretch these enough to get one road in between there. Yeah, look at that. And these would be your access roads again, and then we are going to do some parking lots and stuff, and then kind of clean it up. I think the road is a little bit raised, but once we level this out, it will clean up. We can actually probably go in here right now and do that. So now I'm thinking we will do a parking lot on the back side, and then we'll do some water tanks over here with probably a big parking lot right here as well. These facilities, I would imagine, especially the power plants, would probably need quite a bit of employees, and they really only have a small amount of parking in the front, like 1, 2, 3, like 6 spots. So I guess maybe they don't have a lot of employees, and then these don't even have parking lots. So maybe these don't need like a ton of maintenance, but I'm not really sure. I've never worked in those fields. So for this guy, what I want to do is do some tanks. So I want to go like that, we'll go like that, go like that, go like that, we'll go like that. And so what these are is they hold water for the city. So if you ever reach a point where you are not taking in enough water for your city, then your city will start to draw on these. And so it's really smart. I kind of wish they had added one for electricity as well, like a electricity storage facility, because then you would have kind of that same buffer. And I think that's kind of how a lot of electricity works as well. They have big power plants that mostly store electricity, but maybe I'm wrong. And so we will go like this, and then I want to just cut this across on the opposite side of these guys, and we'll go like that. And then I want to create a road for these. So we'll go like there, and then let's see about maybe curving this guy. Yeah, it's not bad. And then I think we will do the same thing on this side, but we'll come down here. Yeah, there we go. And so we have access. We have access on both sides, which is just fantastic. And I think we're going to come through here and do some surface painter stuff. But then I do want to jump in here, and I'm just going to use the big parking lots again. I really like them. I kind of wish that I remember to jump in and get some of the smaller square ones though too, because they are nice in a lot of settings. These definitely work better for your jumbo parking lots. But I think for this one, we're just going to do one row. So we'll come up here. And so now with that one space, what we can do is just go into our parking. I'm going to do the 5 spaces. We'll come up here, go like that. And then we'll put in a couple handicap, even though we don't think handicap spaces would be necessary for this. Then we're going to search up clip, go to clipping remover for the big parking lots, and just kind of remove these little messy spaces. And then I think we'll do some light landscaping. I'm going to use the new trees from Mr. Mason. I absolutely love these trees, especially this first one. After building out that city on the island, I really just kind of fell in love with a lot of the new trees. This one I think is just so good. It's like a huge bushy tree, but it's just got some great contrast. But then this one too, we'll probably jump into prop line tool and just do a little guy across. Go like this. It's probably even too much. Might have, maybe if I had dropped down the spacing. It looks good though. We're just going to keep it like that. And then let's go into Surface Painter, and we're just going to color this guy in. Concrete a lot of times is just much easier to clean. I've worked in like on a plant before, and whenever you have concrete, you can kind of sweep it up a little better rather than dirt. Especially when you're working with stuff that tends to be really dirty. And so we could end up doing, maybe we'll do some trees or something right there. That could look cool. But then I want to do kind of a bigger parking lot over here, since we only did a baby guy right there. And we are assuming that there's going to be a lot of workers here. So come back in here, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. And I absolutely love the detail on these new trees. Like, these just look so good. It is amazing. I am putting in a little bit of rocks and then just kind of prettied it up. For this side, I decided to do the big trees in the front, though it does kind of break it up. Maybe we will follow those same, follow that same pattern. I think if I showed up to a place and they had this many trees, I'd be like, all right, well, I guess they're doing well. Maybe I should, think about getting a job here. This would be, I mean, a lot of trees. But it looks good, and that's really what it's all about. And so last but not least, we'll jump in here. We'll go to level, we'll increase our brush size, and then we'll choose the ground. And we just want to be so careful with this. If you just barely even touch the land a little bit, it messes up so fast. Now, pause. Oh, we forgot one really crucial thing. I don't know if you guys have caught it, but none of this is hooked up to anything. We don't have any water hooked up. We have 6 power plants that are going nowhere. We're literally just spending money for electricity generation. All right, there we go. And so now all we need to do is hook up a road and then connect our power. And so I want to go into industrial. Probably use this bigger guy. Maybe we'll use the smaller one. Looks like we're going to have some issues with that. It's not a big deal though. We're going to come back through here and we do the land again. So we will come up here, and then let's go ahead and choose a destination for this road. So maybe if we go like right here, I think that's good. So I want to probably curve that in. And so we will take this guy and just go like that, wham, bam. And I really don't think that's going to be a super high volume road, so that should be good. And then what we're going to do right here is just kind of clean up this cliff face a little bit. There we go. Just kind of clean it up, make it look a little bit better. And we could put some trees right here too. Maybe we'll just do that real quick. There we go. I did a couple little clusters of trees. I think it looks good. They're kind of a little too big. Like, this is a super tree. You have just a massive tree. I think I probably put like 10 of these guys in there. We'll move these around a little bit, I think. But it looks good. I like it, and now it's like a little grand entrance. And so it's like the power and electric company. Maybe they're one company. They spent a ton of money on this, and so I would say that they're probably proud. So we can now draw in our lovely power lines and go probably down here, and voila. Power and electric created. Did we hook up the water to anything else up? No. So we need to hook this up externally as well. And then what I want to do is go through and delete our other services that we're no longer using. So that's great. So now we can come over here, and I think so 1,000, yeah, I think we can get rid of all of our power plants. So we're going to go through here and get rid of the coal and oil ones first, since these are the heavy polluting ones. But then we are going to come through here and get all of our water treatment plants as well. Go like this, and this would be a huge investment. It would definitely have to be some sort of land deal, and so we're going to delete that guy. I think we'll keep this guy just because it is a little bit nicer. I didn't go crazy, but I ended up putting in a little bit of parking spaces and then like a fence around it. I didn't go crazy with it. It doesn't look spectacular, but it looks a little bit better than the other ones, and so I think that's good. Let's go in here and see if we forgot any. We did forget one. Look at this guy right on the edge. He was sneaky. And then I think that's good. So now let's unpause and see if we tank our city. We didn't put any water inlet over here. We definitely could. I think as we expand, we'll probably do water inlets over here. But we have water towers kind of spread out throughout the city right now, and so I don't think it would be a huge deal. It's going to take a little while because of all the water coming out of here. Just floods for a second. And so while we're waiting for this to kind of finish itself, because we're great on electricity, we honestly probably got too much electricity. This would be causing just a huge havoc. This is probably the downfall to putting power plants right on the coast. But you do see it. I mean, I've seen when we were up in the Northeast, they have those huge oil power plants just right on the coast. And so, yeah, just kind of deal with it. I think it looks good though. If you guys enjoy it, go ahead and hit that like button. We are going to be building out our cargo terminal now, and this is going to be a little bit faster. I think that was definitely the crazy build for the day, but I do want to come in here and we're going to draw out our main road first. Actually, you know what? The cargo terminal comes with a road. I want this to be literally just far enough away from the edge for us to fit train lines. It's definitely not parallel. We're going to shift it just a little. It's so hard to tell with these sometimes. You know what? We're just going to call it. I can sit here and rearrange that for hours. And then let's jump into the medium cargo airport road. And I want to create enough space in here for us to do one warehouse each side. So we'll go like that. And you know what? I think that actually looks really good. I do want to come in here though, and we're going to upgrade this guy. And there you go. It's kind of a swoop, but I think it looks good. I kind of wish it did follow that curve a little bit more, but I'm not going to sit there and get crazy with it. So a couple things we need to do over here. We need our train cargo hub. I do want to do a little bit of a loop around for this. So we'll do, put it like right here. Whether they would build a big cargo terminal like this on the edge of a cliff is not sure. No, it doesn't seem like the smartest of choices, but that's not what I do. So let's go like in the middle and let's see how it looks. Yeah, you know what? That actually fits perfect. It's still right on the edge, but we're going to put up a fence so it wouldn't be too much of a danger. But then I do want to kind of curve this in and meet up at that junction, because I would rather not have multiple junctions if we don't need it. And I think that's going to be good. So we'll go like that. It would be better if this went the other direction. And I think that's good. So now we can come in here and we'll do one little road. Maybe we'll even turn it into a nicer road, since this would be like a really nice service area. We don't need 4-lane. I mean, I think that's good. So then we will choose somewhere in the middle, maybe. We'll go like right there. Come out like right here, and we're still far enough away. I think we'll actually cut that back because we let's put in our taxiways first, because I just don't know how much space we're going to end up taking. So we'll put this guy in. We're going to do 2 on either side. And then let's jump back into our vanilla taxiways. There you go. And then I do want to create a couple little avenues for planes to just go in. There we go. And I do this guy too. There you go. And so now if a plane doesn't need to go here, they can just cut in there or cut in there. Just a little bit of time they can save. And it does look like we didn't go as far as I was thinking of. For some reason I was thinking the thing would be right there. So we can go right there. And then let's see how big these guys are. I know the fire one is the largest. So maybe we'll put the fire one on the main road. And then I think we might be able to, I don't know, we might be able to put both of these. Let's go ahead and have that road turn. And I don't know if I just did the same exact... Nope. Yeah, look at that. So we'll do the police guy. And then we're going to come in here, get out of this view. I want to go to move it and just shift this over to the end. And then we are going to put the other one on the opposite side of the street. And this would be the medical one. And I don't really like how close that is. Because what we could do too is just extend this and put it on that side. I think that would be safer. Yeah, you know what? I think that's good. The tree does kind of overhang a little bit, but that's something you see in real life. Trucks would probably be hitting it, but yeah, there we go. And so now we have a nice little area for our services. And I think I'm going to turn that just so that we can get them all on this one road. And so we have fire, police, and medical. But to complete this, I do want to put in a small police station in this area too. Police stations would be a big part of an airport. You'd probably have a substation within the airport, but because of the game, we don't really have that ability. So I do want to put one in. Let's see if we can squeeze one in right here. Could we do that? That would just be amazing. We'll do this right here, and then let's do a fire department across the street. Yeah, so it'd be like right as you go in, you see these two guys and have Prophetry Anarchy on. Yeah, there we go. A part of me thinks that maybe we would just have them over here though. But I think having them actually in the center would be a little bit better. But let me know what you guys think. Should we just keep them over here with these guys or what? I'm not really certain. I do know that I want to put in a parking lot up here though too. So I'm just going to follow that same kind of pattern with the big parking lot and put it right here. Okay, and so there is the parking lot. Nothing too crazy, just did some trees around the outside, some light landscaping. I try not to put too many trees next to the taxiways, as I think having trees on taxiways is kind of dangerous. Then I just did some foliage in the middle, just kind of cleaned it up a little bit, and I think even back here we can these. Yeah, I think that's good. So now what I want to do is jump in here and do those warehouses I was talking about. So we'll go like that. And we'll go like that. And you know what? They're both at a similar attack. So I think we will keep that. And then come over here, do animal products on empty, and then do flour on empty. These would literally just be for overflow for our agricultural area. And so we really wouldn't want them to export. For right now, they are exporting, but we are going to be building out a couple factories. And then now we just need to hook this guy up, and then we're going to do some fences, and probably I want to draw in that access road over here. I don't really know how we're going to get it now, but we'll probably do another tunnel, maybe just another perimeter fence. And so go to trains, and there we go. And so this other way, we are limited by the square right now, and so we're not going to focus on that. So we're going to come out straight and then do a bridge. We're going crazy. So now all I'm going to do is jump into the network multi-tool, go to slope mode, choose that guy, and then come all here, and we'll probably even choose this guy. Let's see what it gives us. And there we go. You know what? That actually isn't terrible. And then we're going to delete this guy for right now. And then I'm just going to curve this in and connect it. And then because I used anarchy, we need to come in here and shift these guys. Oh, I mean, we could probably leave that like that, but I feel like the train would just like fly right into here. I don't know if that's would meet like OSHA standards maybe, or whatever compliance agency is in charge of that. I feel like they would definitely shut down this line, cut this power line. What are we gonna do? So we could just go down. We're gonna go onto the cliffside a little bit. Yeah, it's good. No wires touching it. I don't know if that's really safe, but I do want to go in there though and upgrade that to the high-speed rail viaduct though. They look better. The white looks a little bit cleaner, and it's just a really nice bridge going across. And we're going to end up doing a parallel road for the other one, but for right now we just don't need it. And so while we're setting this up, our goal is to have this do inner city transport. And one of the things that we had messed up on, we're not having power issues. We left our poor guy over here disconnected from power for who knows how long. I'm gonna guess maybe since we built the interchange, which was quite a while ago. The city has spent all this money on the transport hub and then it couldn't use it. And so it's kind of funny because we're still going to do the forestry area and all that. We kind of messed up. I downloaded a new prop and tree anarchy, and I think that's why we're getting some of these issues. All the trees are just appearing above the ground. I got to figure out what the hiding features are for this, because having all these this is not safe. This would be really dangerous. All right, I'm going to try to figure it out real quick. And voila, a little bit of YouTube magic, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and it really was just a setting that I'd overlooked. Apparently the new prop and tree anarchy with the extended managers library has a setting for what to do whenever you have roads, and I had it unchecked. And so, yeah, we probably had some major issues. People were probably driving and they're just like, what happened with all these trees? They're everywhere. But now it's fixed, and so our people are safe. We have saved them. But the main thing was we connected this up to power, which is fantastic. We should, now that we unpause it, start getting some inner city cargo transport, which is just fantastic. That's one of the things I was really going for here. We want to try and limit as many trucks as possible using our roads, and this really helps with that a lot, especially with our farming area right here. And so ideally what's going to happen is they can pick up something from one of these warehouses or even from one of these extractor plants, bring it over to our cargo train hub, and then the train can transport it over to our new airport train hub, which then can hop into a truck, go over to our airport cargo hub, and then ship it out of the city without having to send out a truck. And so this is one of the easiest ways you can kind of manage traffic within your city, especially as your city starts to scale. I know with Zillawood, we had probably like 6 or 7 different train cargo hubs kind of spread out throughout the city just for that reason. And you do end up kind of reaching a point where your cargo traffic becomes a problem, especially if you're using regular transport lines for people. But I don't think we're going to be doing anything like that for a little while. I normally only do an end of line where we just have out of city travel come in, but I don't only do inner city travel for transport with the trains. But I think this looks really good. We could end up doing surface painter over here, but I think this looks good. I do want to go in and do some fences though. And so actually before we do that, let's connect up our access road. So I think it looks like because we have this road over here, we may not need the access road to go too far. So maybe we'll just hook this up and have it connect right there. I think that would make sense. So we'll come over here, go to our industrial road. Go to 2-lane country road, and I think that looks good. I'm going to just put in a couple little trees on this side of the fire one up, and it looks like our helicopters are going somewhere. This is probably one of the most important ones, and I can't believe I forgot it. And while we're thinking about that, we can actually put up some fire watchtowers too, because these are equally as good, and they can really help to mitigate some of your fire damage. Then we're going to do those fences and probably call it done. I want to do that cemetery too, but that's only going to take a couple seconds, and so we will jump in here. And I'm just going to do basically a fence going all the way around, and I'm going to be blocking off any controlled access areas. So we'll probably go like right here, and then we curve this guy in. I'm just going to have it follow this road all the way down. All right, and there we go. So I put in a couple more of these little security guard posts, but then I did fences all the way around, and then I actually did another one down here since this would be like the utility complex, and then I extended this fence out here, and then I blocked off the cargo airport all the way down to here, which I believe, we didn't connect this guy up. So I'm going to connect that up, turn on anarchy, get it in there. I'm going to level this out. That looks a little weird. So we'll go like that, and so we have a fence going all the way around this way, but then I created a fence on the opposite side of this as well so that people wouldn't be able to get access from this side. I didn't do a fence on this far side as I felt like this cliff was probably enough of a natural barrier. I do think we want to grab this rock though. That looks a little weird. and then the fence just continues on over here. But I think this looks good. I could go in and do surface painter like I was saying, but I think where we're at looks good. And then I could even do some more trees right here too, but I think because it's so close to the taxiway, it would be better if we just left it empty. And then maybe we'll do like some light commercial down here or something. I think that could be good. So maybe we'll do that real quick, because then we can just do a couple little shops for the workers, which would be good. We'll probably just do some low density. We'll go like that. Probably call it done. Maybe we could do even just some small industrial on this side. And there you go. Nothing too crazy, but enough to provide some more access for these people. And so let's see if our power hooks up, because I don't know if we... Yeah, our demand's not super high, so I think we will delete this guy and have it go behind those. Yeah, there you go. And it does look like we're getting a little bit of shops now. I do want to take zoning off of this street though. And then I had received a suggestion too for us to do just a couple little shops right here, which I think would just be fantastic. We are going to end up putting a bus terminal in right there. But I think if we just delete these guys and just do a couple little shops, nothing too crazy, we'll probably do the organic and local produce just so that we can get some cool little shops in here. So we'll go like that. We'll go like that. Come over here and do the same thing. Nothing too crazy, just a couple to really give it just somewhere to go and grab some coffee or something. Maybe you're picking somebody up from the airport or something. Go like that. We'll come over and do the same thing. We'll go like that. And then we'll come in here to our little tab. And it looks like we actually didn't paint this in as a district. So we're just going to paint this all in as a district real quick. There we go. I ended up doing this section different just because this would be our industrial complex. And then we will turn this guy into organic and local produce, which I think is just going to be fantastic. We're going to get a couple little shops in here. But then we can hit play. And while that is growing out, do you think maybe we will line these guys up? Because I lined those ones up, but I didn't line these ones up. So maybe if we just go like that. And there you go. They'll be across the street from each other. While we're waiting for those to grow, what I want to do is jump over here, and we did not do any cemeteries or death care at all over here. And so we're just going to add in a nice little cemetery complex real quick. And it's not going to be as big as the ones I've done in the past, but it's still going to look nice. You know, a lot of times cemeteries, you know, people are mourning, and the natural beauty of the area kind of makes it a little bit better, you know, and then it's like a really nice resting place for people. So we're going to go like that, and I think we're going to move this one because I want them to be across from each other. But then we're going to take a couple of the crematoriums and put them right there, especially since this is a big downtown area. And then we're going to go in here and jump into my new favorite tree, the live oak. There you go. Just kind of mix it up. Nothing too crazy, just add in some color. Don't need to go crazy with it, but then we'll probably do some bushes too. Some texture. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. It's not overdone, but it looks good, you know? And doing these funeral complexes like this is just such an easy way to add in a little more realism. And we still do have some other things that we could do here. I do want to put in our airline headquarters. So I think we'll probably end up doing something here. And then I think we're going to do like a mid-rise residential area here. And then I had an idea to do like a small commercial area with some parking lots and stuff. But I think this looks really good. And I think we pretty much accomplished everything. So now the airport has services. We have fully redone our electricity and water, which is fantastic. The only thing we didn't really mess with was water intake. And then we do need to look out for traffic on this guy. So let's actually jump into traffic manager real quick and make this into a priority road. Go like that. All right, so I think this looks pretty good. And it's kind of funny, I think changing those tree settings made my game run a little bit slower again. So I'm actually going to play with it again. So we were running at full speed with the new taxiways, which I think we kept all the old taxiways, yeah. So we're still good, it's not that, but I wonder if it has something to do with the cargo airports, but I have a feeling it's just because of the tree issue. We're still running at a pretty fast pace. We're almost at where we were before, with the kind of choppiness and skippiness, but I'm going to explore into it. I'm going to look into it and see what I can find. And then on the next episode, we are going to build out that waste transfer facility. And we're probably going to be building out this area as well as putting in our airline headquarters, but then also doing some of those transit fixes. So we're going to put in a bus hub. I really want to expand our tram lines, and then we need to get a tram line over to our university. Our university is definitely suffering from not having enough access. And so we're kind of struggling to meet that 1,200 student threshold, even though we are at a point where, we have 6,000 eligible people, and a 4,600 in capacity with 6,000 eligible, but only 1,200 are going. So we're definitely having an issue where people just aren't making it over here. And so look forward to that. And so if you're interested, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a ton of exciting stuff coming. If you enjoyed the episode, go ahead and hit the like button. It really does help me out a lot. And I super appreciate you guys watching and the support you guys give and all the comments and everything. And I will catch you on the next one.